Oh, good morning, you guys. Hopefully you can hear me. Okay. Oh, this time it actually warned me to turn the audio on. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with StreamYard. And because it kept throwing me out. I was trying to upload some videos. I don't even know how long I'm gonna stay on here because I don't want to. I noticed that my one of my videos, the audio was kind of clipping in and out. Anyway, it might be where I'm positioned right now. Anyway, what I wanted to do was come on and talk about Joy's interview with Ashley Brittany. Now, she is a part of the cast for Love and Marriage DC. I believe she's stating that is the name of the show. And I guess it's a new season. Uh, yeah, a new season for that show because I know they have Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anyway, she is talking to some of the cast from other shows from OWN, and she's talking to the cast of Ready to Love, and she's stating that she already spoke to Dakiya yesterday. I haven't watched the interview. I know Dakiya also interviewed with I think Crystal XO, so I haven't watched that either. But I'm gonna go and watch, especially the one with Crystal. Um, I'm gonna try to get to that. And I know Paul is out here. And the Paul and Tina stuff, is just comedy for me. I don't know about you guys. The fact that they going back and forth about what we all don't know. Anyway, so he's out here. Every time I look up, I see he's interviewing with a different YouTuber. So he's out here with a story to tell, child. So I've been trying to get back to that. I've been trying to get the video up of Tina as well. And she, like I said, I believe Tina and I believe Precious. That's it and that's all. That's just how I feel about it. Um, I don't think that she needs to make that up. He probably said that to her, not expecting her to repeat it, right? And we've seen that he said things to other people and he wasn't expecting them to repeat, right? When he said certain things to Carmen, is what I'm referring to. But anyway, um, of course, Joy was asked about her blow up with Dakiya, and she's stating that it's kind of edited, that we didn't necessarily see why she was. And I kind of thought that and I think I said that at the end of my video, like, you never know, it could have been editing, right? They could have really cut out with the bulk of the conversation to make her come off away. And these shows, these producers or whoever, editors or whatever, who's ever doing it, um, they do a good job of doing stuff like that, of manipulating the conversations to make them come off away. So it's possible there were things that we missed because her attitude seemed out of place. First of all, you're on a dating show. You were getting to know other people, so you should have expected Clifton to get to know other people. And to be honest, as a woman, we should always understand we don't know what these men are saying to other women. Like, that's a rule of thumb for me. You don't know what these guys are saying to these other women. Okay. And I know you can feel you overly head over heels or whatever you want to say, whatever she's out here trying to say is going on, child, with her and Clifton. We'll see in 4 months. Um, you know, you still have to use discernment and you still have to understand that you don't know the conversations that were going on between Clifton and Dakiya, and he could have been saying things just to say them to keep her from voting against him, like I said. And we all understand that about this show at this point, right? After watching it season after season, people are playing, some people really are just there to play the game of that show. They're not there looking for a relationship. You could tell when people just don't have connections. I think I said it. Paul didn't really have a connection there. After Eric left, I didn't really feel like Dakiya had a connection there. Tori did not have a connection there, even though now some of these people are saying in interviews that they were dating this person and dating that person, but for whatever reason, none of that was chose for the show. So we do not know whatever was going on the back end. Um, anyway, so if you do have a connection with somebody else on the show, then you just have that connection with somebody else on the show. We're talking about the show. We're talking about what we were seeing, watching, because that's the only thing that we can speak to. I'm gonna let you guys listen to some of what she was saying. I was trying to upload the video. That's what's taking me so long to go live, but for whatever reason, it would not work. So I'm gonna just show it, try to show it from my computer. So I'm like, okay. And that's the thing, like, so yeah, when our show first was announced, we thought it was DMV too. And then they told us it was DC, and we were like, okay. And then people have been like, you're not even from DC. Like, right. That's what I told you. I'm not. I'm from Baltimore. I'm not from DC. I say it all the time. I'm from Baltimore too, girl. How you doing? Exactly. Like, I'm like all the time. I don't like, you can have that. So what? So we're already done filming. Besides, we still have professionals. That's it. But we've done all our scene work. How do you feel your life has changed, like, since the show has been on? How have you dealt with people in the comment sections, people who think they know everything about you, people who tell you about yourself? Well, first, let me say, I have never felt this amount of love talking about. Oh, wow. My life has changed. It has changed because of Clifton. Yeah. You know, we always want that's something. And it's not about being complete. It's about how you want to be fulfilled and continue to. It's about adding to, not completing. Exactly. And that is how my life has changed completely. Mm-hmm. As far as social media, they love me one day, and after the reunion, girl, they done rip me another asshole. So, because yesterday, I watched it, and I made a point, like, while I was watching it, not to read, like, you guys' comments, anything like that, like we were saying. So I could form, like, my own opinion on how I felt about everybody. I told you, besides Sabrina, I really like everybody except for her. She's probably a sweet girl, but never. But yeah, yesterday a lot of people were like, "You were a mean girl at the reunion. They didn't like how you treated the kids' feelings. Do you feel like you owed her an apology, or like you were a little?" So what it is this: the reason why my tone was that way was completely cut out. So the bottom line is, how we sat on camera, right? Eric, me, Clifton, Donovan. And so how they shot it where, she has her exchange with Eric, and then she has her exchange with Clifton. And in that, there's this one particular point outside of finding love, building, growing, nurturing something. The one thing that she wanted to really stay on was that he owed her a courtesy. He know when you are going to move forward with joy. This is what she wanted. She wanted at the retreat, you see on camera, he has it. That exchange happens. Yeah. But when she brings it up at the reunion, it's like, just like you wanted Eric to give you this apology, right? Right. You have to put it on camera. Even when you got it, it wasn't good enough for you. Okay. And then now you get the Clifton, and you feel as though he owed you a courtesy. And in it, what I said was, when did he owe you a courtesy? And what got cut off was when you were with Eric, because during that time is the beach house. Mm-hmm. And that's Truth or Dare. So Truth or Dare, that's when you see me kiss Clifton during the Truth or Dare. And everyone was like, oh, shit, right. Okay. This is really real. Yeah, it's like, this is really something here. Mm-hmm. And that's something everyone saw. If you didn't know, now you know. But everyone saw that. At the end of that time, there's a bonfire. Demetrius is giving a speech. Mm-hmm. And in that speech, he says, we have to hone in on our connections. In that scene, you see her with Eric, you see me with Clifton, blah, 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 blah. So you're seeing, people kind of coupled up. Okay. So, again, when was the courtesy of moving forward with joy? Right. So you feel like had Eric remained, she wouldn't have even, been thinking about it. Yes. I'm getting your spidey senses. I'm feeling it.
Yesterday, she let me know that there was a kiss between Dakiya and Clifton. She let me know that we didn't get to see. Did you know about that?
Okay, the way our cast talks, people have gotten back to everyone, and no one knows that. There's a whole bunch of self-deception going on, but
So you don't believe the kiss went down?
No one knows anything about
it. So nobody knows about it.
No one knows nothing. Nothing.
Oh, y'all so stressful.
Shit. And this stuff was done. Like
no, I get it. I mean, that's the great thing about, these casts and cameras being around. It's like, even if it's not shown, somebody somewhere knows something. Like, there's the truth.
But if that was the truth, why didn't you say that at the reunion?
Right.
Want to drop that bomb, girl? I kissed that mother. Yeah, but ain't nobody know about. Don't nobody ask anybody in the cast. Did you know that it was a kiss?
Right.
Yeah. No one knew about because there. And what I would say is this. You ask a question, but it's like, okay, well, prove it. Yeah. When was it? What did he have on? When did it happen? Okay.
Well, what his mouth taste like? What's the scent?
You understand what I'm saying? What did he have to eat? You know what I mean? Like, kind of alcohol he have on his breath.
Wait, let me know. I'm sorry. What did he have to eat? How did he get through that dinner with you guys after he ate that coconut? Poor baby was sweating, turning red.
His ass off. Like, it was. When I tell you, I'm like, oh my, like we stopped. We had to stop the camera rolling. Like somebody had an EpiPen, somebody went and got some Benadryl, but he kept pushing.
Right.
He was, he was clearing his throat.
He was after you, girl.
Love, girl, that's love.
No, that's love. So at the reunion, when he decided to get down, pull out the pop, what was going through your head at the time? Were you like, oh shit, what was going on?
Okay, I know it wasn't going to be a proposal because we had a conversation about it before, and it's like we want to be surrounded by the people that love us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to do something like that, like for TV.
Yeah.
We want to be around our family, our friends, and in a place that's, we want to be surrounded by love, and that is not going to be the place for that. But the key, even though people was like, girl, you over 40, you got to get a ring. Our destiny and our path and our journey is how we choose to live it, not everyone else.
Yeah.
It is extremely symbolic because we ended the show going straight into a long distance relationship.
Right, which I'm sure has been difficult.
You know what? It started off a bit difficult more because of the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And like the separation.
Mm-hmm.
But we honestly worked through it. We schedule, we plan. He's here like twice a month.
Okay, good.
We have constant communication. We make it work. I mean, he has the ability to do it. He can work anywhere.
So you guys did the reunion in February?
Yes.
So since February, how often have you guys seen each other? I know you said twice a month, but like a number, 10 times?
Yeah. It's getting up there. Like he just left last week.
Good.
So
how has it been off camera? Now.
So yeah, that's a piece of what she had to say. She went on to talk about, they're planning a future together. Like I said, we'll see in 4 months, right? I think we've seen some couples now on 2 or 3 seasons say that they're in a relationship, and then months down the line, they have a reason to break up. But she is claiming, as you can hear, that he is coming to Mexico, I guess, twice a month or once a month or something to that effect, she said. And she's getting ready to take a break to spend more time at home. She then went on to explain what Donovan was saying about they could have connected if he would have been there earlier. And she was saying, if he would have gotten there in the beginning, that they probably could have built a friendship. Now, or she said, or a romantic connection. And so that just kind of made me think too, like, well, if you're saying that, then that means you would have been open to him that way. Um, if you really felt like Clifton was the person, then things happen in divine order, right? Then you would not have made a connection with Donovan, even if he was there at the beginning or not. That's just the way I'm thinking. But whatever. I do feel like she owes Dakiya a apology because it was shown on camera. Her raising her voice and carrying on, right? And I get what she's saying. They put the conversation out there as some type of, well, let me let you guys hear her saying that, and then I'll come back.
Trust me, I understand. Fast forward to the getaway. Trust me, I understand. Fast forward to the getaway. Was it?
Oh, you really skipped over. Okay, all right.
I just feel like if you've watched. We see that you wasn't. Trust me, I understand. Trust me, I understand. Fast forward to the getaway. Was it?
Oh, you really skipped over. Okay, all right.
I just feel like if you've watched. We see that you wasn't trying to deal with nobody else. Like Cliff and you. Well, no, rewind, because I didn't talk about Cliff's second. His second choice date. So his second choice was Dakiya. I actually talked to her yesterday, and I asked her, did she know that date was, this is your second choice's date? So watching that back, how did you feel? Because he's telling her, like, yeah, I do have this great, strong connection with Joy, but I also have a great connection with you too. I can see myself with you.
Well, I'll say this. If you watch the show, you know that we have to connect in order to still be present.
Right.
And connection has several different meanings depending on how you define it.
Right.
You can connect as friends, and you can connect to something more.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunate part about the show is that part of this game that you have to play in order to still be here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
We all have used the same lingo. I'm still open to the process. I'm still da 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 da.
Right.
We talk about we've been on a lot of dates. Yeah, but we don't plan the dates. We don't pick who we go on the dates with. The storyline was already, predetermined.
Yeah.
Already for what they wanted it to be. So that's why you see Clifton going on a number of dates with her. That's why you see me, with Paul. I went on a date with Tori. You don't see that. I wish I went on a date with Demetrius, which y'all saw was me blowing up on him.
I think Tori, I said this yesterday too, my heart just broke every time I saw his little poor sad face after, the Truth and Dare game. I just was like, I just felt so sorry for him. Every episode after that, I just was like, boy, go home. Your heart is broken. Bow out.
I completely felt for Tori. Tori has such a kind heart. He is definitely love. Like he appreciates, you know what I mean? He appreciates women. He appreciates life. He has a little one. He is that, and it was unfortunate. I hated to see that.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all don't hear me smack.
Because again, in this, your feelings are involved.
Yeah, they are. I mean, and I know that sometimes on these shows, people go in there strictly for, they're not really looking for love. They might be looking for, their couple minutes of fame or something like that. But Tori, when I saw that boy's heartbreak as I was watching it, I felt so sad for him. Outside of you guys, what other couple were you like rooting for? Maybe like from the beginning, like, okay, I could see you two together.
I really, at the time during the show, I really wanted to see like the Laverne and Ace.
I like them too.
Yeah, the Laverne, they're kind of like polar opposites, but I saw a certain level of balance, how that could be, how it could work. Probably Wiley and Tiffany.
Okay.
I knew early on, but I didn't know until, like later. But if they were both still there, I would have loved to be,
that with them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to get to the getaway.
Okay.
So you guys came in. Well, Cliff was there first, then Dakiya, then you came. You looking for a room, but you quickly found your room. Put your bag down. Was that already discussed? Like, we're sharing a room this weekend. It's me and you. We packing these PJs.
Do you see how far we are in the process?
Yeah.
The getaway is damn near the end.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we had already been, moving forward with us.
Mm-hmm.
Of course we planned it.
Yeah.
We planned all these onesies. Of course we found out where the big room was.
Yeah.
Where the big bed was. Of course it was planned. We were the first people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
The next person that showed up was Donovan, and Donovan was ticked off because he came in last and had to share a bunk bed. But
he did have to share a bunk bed. I was like, I know they ain't got these grown ass people here with 4 bunk beds.
But that's the thing. There was no, so understand the retreat. There was no private room. No one had a room to themselves. So each instance, the room that had the bunk beds on this side, bunk beds on that side. The room, the other rooms, the ceiling is open. So everyone upstairs can look over and see
what's going down. Oh, okay.
The room in Clifton and I was in, Demetrius was in the bed right in front of us.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so it wasn't when people like, oh, you slept with the man and he can't make a decision on who he want to be. No,
it's like we was in there like roommates, like college dorm room.
Exactly.
So I'm guessing nothing. I mean, y'all woke up the next morning and Cliff talk about it's Christmas morning. He feel like Santa Claus came. So I'm guessing Santa Claus didn't come because y'all was sharing a room.
No, let me explain something. The beauty of being with the person that you love, it doesn't matter where you are.
Right.
So what? Demetrius was right there. We weren't planning on doing anything to wake up in bed with this person in this beautiful setting, the sun coming up. Like, I mean, that's what we're there for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
No, that's what you were there for. And then things were like PG-13 in the hot tub with Demetrius and Sabrina. What are your thoughts on, like, I feel like Sabrina was almost like the villain of the show, like the female villain. Do you feel like she was painted that way, or was that really just what was going on? I'm the villain on my show, so.
Well, I will be as politically correct as I can be.
Okay. So yeah. So it sounds like to me, listening to this interview, she really wanted to make it sound like Dakiya's connection with Clifton was purely put together by the producers. Because it sounds like she said that, like when she said that a couple of times about them creating the dates for them, they didn't get to select. Now, somebody from another season said that they could, I think it was Ron. Ron said either on one of these panels or during one of his interviews that you could say to the producers, I would like to go out with so-and-so, right? And they would try to set the date up for you. I think that, or they probably, I'm assuming they may ask them as well. I don't know what their process is. From the mixer, was there someone that I would think they would ask him that? But you can tell how Dakiya and Eric had the same background, that they probably were trying to match them based on how much they had in common, right? And they both came off slightly conservative. And they just had a different feel than some of the other people on cast. So I do think Eric and Dakiya was supposed to be the match. I will agree. However, that doesn't mean that she can't have an attraction for someone else and that person can have an attraction for her. I think she definitely wanted to take everything off of Clifton and just put it on the producers and put it on Dakiya's imagination. And I don't think that that's necessarily true, because we did hear him say what he said, as far as no, she was still and I get it. He's playing the game. I'm not saying that he had to be necessarily attracted to Dakiya like that. Um, but he did say those things. And like the kid saying, all she was asking him for was a courtesy. Just say, you know, when we're at that point, Dakiya, so I'm gonna go on and go with Joy. And I think that we've seen this play out before in other seasons. And then the whole thing about the kiss, we've seen that play out before. I believe it was the season with Brett, and I forget the guy's name that was on there. But he denied to the very end that he kissed what was the girl's name? I can't remember her name either, but it was a couple on there, and he kept denying that he kissed her because he ended up picking another young lady. And that was probably the best season of the show I think that I watched, to be really honest. And that is the season that made me want to watch the show. Um, it's just it looks way too made for TV now. They were either had some excellent acting going on there, child, or maybe some of the storyline was real. But he denied to the very end that he kissed her, and she said that he did, and so that kind of reminds me of that situation. Clifton is not going to tell Joy everything that went on, every conversation, every whatever that happened between him and Dakiya. And that I think that's common sense to all of us. Why he would not do that. Um, so I don't know. I just feel a way about Joy's attitude towards the whole thing. I think if you know it's a TV show, then there's no reason for you to feel any kind of way about it. People can still appreciate the love story if it's real. If there is in fact a love story between you and Clifton, then that will ultimately it will win in the end, right? Because people are going to want to hear months down the line, like I said, if they are still together or not. Just like we have with past seasons. And so I think that you let that lead you, right? Why do you need to have an attitude with anybody? Like I said, if you have the guy that you claim you found love, then you should just be in a positive state of blitz, I guess, over the fact that you went on the show and you found someone. Um, I don't think that she needs to have an attitude towards Dakiya about anything, and it kind of makes me feel like it's something else going on. And I guess now she's even upset about her saying that they kissed or whatever. Um, yeah, I don't know that I didn't watch the interview. I would need to watch the interview with Dakiya to kind of gauge how I feel about if she's telling the truth or not. But why would she lie about that? I don't think that she needs to lie about that. And like I said, you could tell that Clifton's not going to tell Joy everything, right? For obvious reasons, right? I don't think that Dakiya was imagining all of that, because to be honest, Clifton couldn't win with any of those other women there as the second choice. He did not even have to go with Dakiya in the first place. So we're gonna be clear about that. What made him pick her as the runner up and not any Precious or whoever, Tiffany or whoever else was there, right? Um, or Ace, right? Like, come on now. Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe she thinks that what Dakiya is saying is taking from what she and Clifton are saying. And I don't think anybody watching the show was really feeling that way. And that's why it's making people feel like she just has a nasty attitude because she didn't really have to play that way. Now I can understand if she felt like she's saying that the producers was wanting to say that there was a triangle, and she didn't want it to be viewed as a triangle because she just wanted the story to come off like she and Clifton has some love story. Like I said, if that is in fact the truth, then that's going to win in the end anyway, right? Um, he could have sat there and just cleared up the situation with the can. Like, I'm sorry if you felt like I owed you any more of an explanation. I did not feel like I owed you that. That's why I didn't give you one. He could have just said it like that and left it alone. And I felt like he could have spoke for himself because he and Dakiya are the only ones who know what was really going on with them. I didn't feel like Clifton was in need of protection from Joy because this is a dating show. Okay, we don't know what was going on between any of these people when the cameras were not running, right? So yeah, just looking at it from that angle, and that's just my opinion. She can feel however she want to feel about it. Dakiya has a right to her feelings, and Clifton as well. At the end of the day, um, we did not hear. I don't even recall hearing them say anything about a triangle. Anyway, um, maybe he said something about I don't know how nephew Tommy described it. I would have to go back and look over that again, but I don't recall him saying anything about a triangle. But let me know what you guys think about what she had to say. And if you want to watch the full conversation between Ashley and Joy, you can go to Ashley's Instagram page. It's Ashley Britteny. And she's a part of Love and Marriage, the new season of DC, I guess. I don't know if it's a new season or if it's a brand new show that they're going to put air. Because I know there's a Love and Marriage Huntsville. Um, so I don't know. And she could be a new, maybe I don't recognize her. So maybe you guys are watching. I don't watch Love and Marriage. I don't have time to try to watch all these shows, but I know that it's on OWN, and she is a part of the cast of the new DC season. So if you guys want to watch the full conversation, you can go over there and watch it because she talks about planning the future with Clifton and her connection with Donovan and Carmen. And I don't know why I thought she and Sabrina had some type of relationship. Like I thought they were friends, but I guess not. So yeah, the cameras, the show definitely is tricky with the way they show things play out for us. That's what I was saying in the last video as well. Like we really didn't get to know these people's personalities, and the only way that I felt like we could get to know them was through their lives from the seasons past, because they would go live, they would hold conversations, they would answer questions, the people that were coming into their lives and whatever. And you kind of got to get a feel of their personalities from those lives. Now we don't know what we're watching and who we're watching, right? And everybody's going to say, I am who I am and I am what you see. Everybody's going to say that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a fact. And the way you see yourself is not necessarily the way other people will view you. But that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think about their conversation. I'm going to try to come back with Paul and Tina because I know he's been out here interviewing. I think I saw him with Kamisha and Little Black Book because Kojo was trying to get him to kind of break down some stuff that Tina was saying, right? Because Tina's been saying some things as well. And I tend to believe Tina. I'm kind of waiting to hear what Precious is going to say. I want to see if anyone's going to interview Precious again since the reunion. But I tend to believe those girls. I think that Paul was saying certain things and doing certain things. And he definitely did not really have a real connection with anyone there. So it is possible he was just there for the TV of it all, right? To really just kind of push his brand. And I don't really have a problem with that because half these people that come on this show are there for the same reason. Um, but he's saying all this stuff, and then he's saying, I guess he came back and tried to clear up the fact of what he meant when he said that he met her child, because I think that's what she's upset about. Um, obviously she would not introduce her child to anyone on this show, right? Um, yeah, and I don't even know why that conversation would even come up, to be honest. I agree with her on that. Um, So yeah, I'll try to come back with that whole conversation. Let me know what you guys think about what Joy had to say. Do you feel like she owed Dakiya an apology? Let me know. And if you don't, say that. I mean, I don't care. That's just everybody has their own opinion, and everyone's seeing that situation the way they see it, right? And we're all entitled to that. But let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think that she owes her an apology or at least a conversation? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.